Tajikistan. The name itself feels distant, a place tucked away on the map. It is a land of giants. Great mountains pierce the sky here. They are the Pamirs. People call them the roof of the world. These are not gentle rolling hills. They are sharp. They are brutal. They are magnificent. Snow clings to their peaks all year round. The wind howls through deep shadowed valleys. It is a sound that has echoed for centuries. A lonely sound. You can feel the sheer scale of this place. It makes you feel very small. It makes you feel very alive. I traveled along the Pamir Highway. It is less a highway, more a suggestion of a road, a ribbon of gravel and broken tarmac clinging to the side of cliffs. Below, rivers the color of pale jade rush with glacial meltwater. The air is thin up here. Every breath is a conscious effort. Yet, people live here. They have always lived here. Small villages, like scattered stones, dot the landscape. Their homes are built from the earth itself. Simple, sturdy structures designed to withstand the crushing weight of winter snow and the biting winds that sweep down from the high passes. The silence is profound. It's a silence filled with tiny sounds if you listen closely. The distant cry of a golden eagle circling high above. The gentle bleating of a goat somewhere on a hillside. The soft murmur of a breeze carrying the scent of wild herbs. This is a world away from the noise and rush of modern life. Time seems to move differently here. It is measured not by clocks, but by the slow, deliberate arc of the sun across the sky. It is measured by the changing of the seasons, each bringing its own challenges and its own rewards. Everywhere you look, there is a sense of history. Ancient petroglyphs are carved into the rocks. They tell stories of hunts and forgotten gods. Old Silk Road fortresses crumble slowly back into the dust. They stand as silent witnesses to the caravans of traders and armies that once passed this way. This is not just a landscape. It is a storybook written in stone and ice. A story of survival, a story of human endurance against incredible odds, and it is a story that is still being written, day by day, by the people who call this formidable place home.
If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Tajikistan, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more stories from the world's most extraordinary places. Your support helps us bring you even more incredible adventures. I arrived in a small village as dusk began to fall. The mountains were turning a deep shade of purple. Smoke curled from the chimneys of a dozen low-slung houses. The air was thick with the smell of burning wood and baking bread. Children with bright, curious eyes stopped their games to stare. An elder, his face a road map of deep lines, offered a quiet greeting, a simple nod. A gesture of welcome that needed no words. Here, hospitality is not a choice, it is a sacred duty. A stranger is a guest sent by God, and they are treated with a reverence that is deeply humbling. Life in these remote communities is a delicate dance of survival. Everything is connected. The health of the livestock determines the well-being of the family. The success of the small potato harvest decides if there will be enough food for the long winter. People rely on each other completely. A house is not built by one man, but by the entire village. When a family faces hardship, their neighbors share what little they have without a second thought. This powerful sense of community is their greatest strength. It is the invisible thread that holds everything together in a land where a single stroke of bad luck can be disastrous. Inside a family home, the world shrinks to a single warm room. Brightly colored textiles hang on the walls. Cushions are scattered across the floor, which serves as the space for eating, sleeping, and socializing. A single wood-burning stove is the heart of the home. It provides warmth, cooks the food, and heats the water. I shared a meal of plov, a hearty dish of rice and mutton, with a family. We ate from a communal plate, a simple act that reinforces the bonds of kinship. The conversation was slow, punctuated by long, comfortable silences. As night closed in, the stories began. They were not grand tales of heroes and battles. They were quiet stories,
stories about a difficult birth during a snowstorm, about a wolf that took a sheep from the flock, about a cousin who had left to find work in Russia, sending money home when he could. These are the narratives that shape their world. They are filled with hardship, yes, but also with a quiet dignity and an unshakable resilience. It is in these whispered stories, shared in the flickering firelight, that you truly begin to understand the soul of Tajikistan.
The next morning, I followed the sound of rushing water. It led me to the edge of the Gunt River. The water was a torrent of gray-green energy, powerful and relentless. It carved its way through the valley with an unstoppable force. This river is the lifeblood of the region. It waters the small, terraced fields where families grow their food. It provides a drink for the yaks and goats that graze on the sparse vegetation. The sound of the river is a constant companion in these valleys. A steady, reassuring roar that speaks of permanence and power in a world that can often feel fragile and uncertain. The landscape is a study in contrasts. The river valley is a narrow strip of impossible green. Poplar and birch trees line the banks, their leaves shimmering in the sun. But just beyond this sliver of life, the mountains rise up, stark and barren. They are vast walls of rock and scree, painted in shades of ochre, brown and grey. It is a place of raw, untamed beauty, a place that feels as if it was forged only yesterday. You feel a deep sense of respect for the power of nature here. It is a power that gives life, but also one that can take it away in an instant. Wildlife here is as tough as the terrain. I saw a herd of ibex moving with impossible grace across a near vertical cliff face. Their ability to navigate this treacherous world is astounding. High above, a lammergeier, a bearded vulture, soared on the thermal currents. These creatures are masters of survival, perfectly adapted to this high-altitude environment. The ultimate prize for any wildlife spotter is the elusive snow leopard. They are ghosts of the mountains, rarely seen, but their presence is felt. The shepherds know they are there. They are a symbol of the wild, untamable spirit of the Pamirs. The connection between the people and the land is primal. They understand its rhythms. They know which plants are medicine and which are poison. They can read the weather in the clouds. This is not knowledge learned from books. It is passed down through generations. An old shepherd pointed to a distant peak. He told me that when the clouds gather there in a certain way, the storm will come within hours. This intimate understanding is essential for survival. The land is their provider, their home, and their most formidable adversary, all at once. In a small tea house, over a glass of green tea, I learned of a modern custom that felt jarringly out of place in this ancient land. It is a practice that highlights the complex pressures facing Tajik society. Many men are forced to leave their homes and families. They travel thousands of miles, usually to Russia, to find work on construction sites or in factories. They are often gone for years at a time. This separation puts an immense strain on marriages. The distance can be too much to bear. The loneliness can become overwhelming. A young woman named Zulfia shared her story, her voice barely a whisper. Her husband had been in Moscow for 2 years. At first, he would call. He would send money. But then, the calls became less frequent. The money stopped. One evening, her phone buzzed with a new message. It was from him. It contained just 3 words in Tajik, talok, talok, talok. Divorce, divorce, divorce. With that simple, brutal text message, her marriage was over. She was left alone with 2 young children, facing an uncertain future in a society where a divorced woman often carries a heavy stigma. This phenomenon, known as SMS divorce, is a heartbreaking consequence of economic migration. It is a quick, impersonal, and devastating way to end a life built together. For the men, it is perhaps an escape
from a responsibility they can no longer handle. For the women left behind, it is a catastrophe. They are often left without any legal recourse or financial support. They must find a way to provide for their children alone, in a country with few jobs and a deeply patriarchal social structure. It is a quiet crisis, unfolding one text message at a time. The pain of this practice ripples through the community. Families are torn apart. Children grow up without fathers. Women are cast into poverty and isolation. It is a stark reminder of the hidden costs of economic desperation. It shows how modern technology, even in the most remote corners of the world, can be used to inflict ancient wounds. Zulfia's story is not unique. It is the story of thousands of women across Tajikistan, caught between tradition and the harsh realities of the globalized economy. Their quiet suffering is a difficult but necessary part of understanding life here.
Despite the hardships, life is not all shadow. There is joy here too. It is found in the simple moments. The laughter of children playing a game with stones in the dusty courtyard. The warmth of the sun on your face after a long cold winter. The taste of fresh bread, pulled straight from a clay tandoor oven. These small pleasures are not taken for granted. They are cherished. They are celebrated. I attended a wedding celebration that lasted for 3 days. The entire village came together to sing, dance, and share in the couple's happiness. The energy was infectious. The sky in Tajikistan is immense. At night, away from any light pollution, it is a breathtaking spectacle. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a river of diamonds. Stars feel so close you could almost reach out and touch them. Lying on my back, gazing up at this cosmic display, the problems of the world seem to shrink. It is a humbling experience. It connects you to something vast and eternal. The people here have been looking up at this same sky for millennia. It is a source of wonder, of mystery, and of perspective. Hope is a resilient force in the Pamirs. You see it in the eyes of the young people. They are connected to the wider world through their mobile phones. They dream of education, of opportunities, of a life beyond the confines of their valley. They are proud of their heritage, but they are also looking towards the future. I met a young teacher who had returned to her village after studying in the capital, Dushanbe. She was determined to give the children in her community a better education than she had received. Her passion was a powerful beacon of hope. The landscape itself seems to inspire a certain kind of fortitude. To live here, you must be strong, you must be patient, you must learn to endure. The mountains do not yield you, they demand respect, and teach you about your own limits. But they also reward you with moments of sublime beauty. A sunrise that sets the snow-capped peaks on fire. The sudden appearance of a rainbow after a storm. These moments are a reminder that even in the harshest of environments there is grace, there is beauty, there is hope.
Leaving the Pamirs is like waking from a powerful dream. The noise of the modern world rushes back in, loud and jarring. The memory of the silence, the vastness, and the stark beauty of the mountains stays with you. It is a place that gets under your skin. It changes your perspective. You realize how little you need to be happy. You witness a form of human wealth that has nothing to do with money. It is the wealth of community, of family, of a deep and abiding connection to the land. The spirit of the Tajik people is like the mountains they inhabit. It is rugged, resilient, and possessed of a quiet, unshakable dignity. They have endured centuries of hardship. They have weathered empires, wars, and economic collapse. Yet, they remain. They continue to raise their families, to tend their flocks, and to welcome strangers with an open heart. Their ability to find joy in simplicity and to face adversity with such grace is a profound lesson. It is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. The challenges they face are immense. Poverty is a constant struggle. Climate change threatens the glaciers that feed their rivers. The lure of work abroad continues to pull families apart. The future of this way of life is not guaranteed, but there is a powerful will to survive, to adapt, and to preserve their unique culture. The heart of Tajikistan does not beat in its cities, but here, in these high, lonely places. It beats in the rhythm of the seasons, in the stories of the elders, and in the hopes of the young. This is a forgotten corner of the world, a place of staggering beauty and profound human struggle. It is easy to overlook on a map, but impossible to forget once you have been there. It is a land that challenges you, humbles you, and ultimately inspires you. The people of Tajikistan are not just surviving, they are living with a depth and a resilience that is both moving and magnificent. Their story is a quiet epic, written on the roof of the world, and it is a story that deserves to be heard.